So by far, one of the most common questions I receive is how to build quality backlinks to a new website. And the keyword there is new. So I get this from a lot of beginner bloggers who are trying to just get off the ground, trying to gain some momentum. They're trying to gain some traction within the search results and the search engines. They are discouraged because they're not seeing results quick enough. They want to build up the authority of their website. So they always ask, how can I build quality backlinks to help with search engine rankings, help drive more organic traffic to my website, etc. So in this video, I wanted to discuss a really simple yet powerful tactic that really anyone and any blogger can get started with as soon as today. So with that being said, let's jump in and let's go over this in a bit more detail. So first things first, why is building backlinks important? So for starters, for SEO purposes, building backlinks is crucial. Google looks to your backlink portfolio. It looks to the quality of your backlinks that you've built to your website as a ranking signal. If other webmasters are linking out to your website, that shows Google that your content is helpful, that your website is important. If they see other webmasters, other people, other bloggers linking out to your website, it helps with your search engine rankings going forward. So it helps with your keyword rankings within Google. It can help drive, therefore, in return, drive more organic traffic to your website. It helps build the overall authority of your website as well. So from an SEO standpoint, building backlinks is super beneficial and super important. Another reason why building backlinks is important is just for overall brand awareness. If your website link or your blog link is out there on other external websites for the world to see, for people to see, it helps give you more exposure to your website, to your brand, to you if you're marketing yourself on your website. Overall, having your link placed throughout the web on other websites and hopefully authoritative websites, you're helping by build your brand awareness. So building quality backlinks really helps you improve and build more brand awareness for your website. And last but certainly not least on why building backlinks is important is increased referral traffic. So if you have your links placed on external websites like we just discussed, you're gonna, eventually if you build enough quality backlinks, you're eventually gonna get some referral traffic from this. So people clicking on your link on these external websites, coming back to your own blog or your own website. So this is kind of the icing on the cake. I would say the main goal and the main benefit with building quality backlinks is for SEO purposes, but it's a great way to get some referral traffic to your website as well and increase your overall referral traffic from people clicking on these backlinks on other websites. So now let's get into, in my opinion, the best strategy to build quality backlinks for a brand new website or a newer website. And that strategy is guest posting. So guest posting is something that anyone really can do. Once you understand the process, once you get your feet wet with it, it's something you can rinse and repeat and get some really good quality content out there on other websites and other blogs. So guest posting essentially is writing a blog post just like you would for your own website, but you're pitching these blog posts to external websites within your general niche. So say you run a dog training blog, for example. You may want to identify other bloggers, other websites within the pets niche or the dog niche. Reach out to these types of websites and see if they are accepting guest post opportunities. There's different way to identify these opportunities, which we'll go into in a second. And a lot of these times, these websites actually look for guest post content. A lot of them like to get this content. It's a win-win situation because you get to publish your article on another website and build the quality backlink. And for the external website or the blogs that you'll be pitching, they get fresh, unique, and quality content, which we all know that Google loves. So it's a win-win situation. Generally, there's not too much resistance when you go to pitch some of these guest post opportunities. So in my opinion, this is the easiest and one of the best ways for newer websites to start gaining some traction in terms of building quality backlinks to their website. So with that being said, let's actually go into how to find these guest post opportunities, how to research them, how to go about reaching out to them, because I think this is going to be super helpful and it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. Just a few steps that you can do and get started with as soon as this week. I think it'll be easier to drive home the example if I do a screen share on this. So let's jump into the computer screen real quick and I'll show you exactly a method that you can use starting today or this week to find quality and qualified guest post opportunities.
All right, so let's jump right into it here on how to find quality guest post opportunities. So I'm going to be referencing a blog post that I wrote. I'll leave the link in the description for your reference. Feel free to visit the link because it goes over exactly what I'm going over in this video and what I've already gone over, and also what I'm about to go over in terms of finding quality guest post opportunities, reaching out to them, etc. So feel free to visit that link if you feel like you're getting stuck. It's got everything written out in detail, and I think it'll be super helpful if you need additional assistance or additional help on this method. So with that being said, let's go into exactly how to find quality guest post opportunities yourself. There's, tons of ways. Let me just say there's tons of ways to find guest post opportunities, but we'll focus on just two really simple methods that you can get started with right away. So the first one is just to research relevant blogs. You want to just in general, guys, when it comes to guest posting, get used to using Google search, certain Google search queries that you can use to help you identify these opportunities. The first kind of method is just to research relevant blogs within your niche. For example, if you're in the technology niche, you might just want to do a simple Google search for technology blogs. I know it sounds so simple, or top tech blogs or technology blogs accepting guest posts. Sometimes these simple Google searches, you can find really good and authoritative type of blogs to guest post on. Not all of these will be accepting guest posts, but it's okay. You can add them to a list, which we'll go over in a second, and reach out to these types of websites. So the first method, I would just get used to just researching, blogs within your niche, doing very simple Google searches with like technology blogs or top tech blogs. If you're in a different niche, mix it up a little bit, but just start by doing simple Google searches for technology blogs. For example, like We'll Google search technology blogs right here. And the first result here are 20 of the top tech blogs you should be following in 2019. Go through some of these lists, top 100 technology blogs, websites, and newsletters to follow in 2019. Go through some of these lists and see if there's, any websites that you would be interested in guest posting on. Sometimes with, building links, it's you want these to be as quality as possible, but you might have to go through a number of websites before you get a few opportunities secured. So this is just a starting point. Really easy way to just research certain blogs and see if they are accepting guest posts. So a little bit of a more specific way to find opportunities that are looking for guest posts and content to be published on their website is to use specific queries within Google. So we're going to be drilling down even further now. You should try to use these strategic search queries in Google. I'll also leave these in the description of the video so you can reference it. Again, just follow the link and you can get right to this blog post here to use these. So a lot of times guest post opportunities will have pages such as a Write For Us page. It's a specific page specifically put on a website that is looking to attract content contributors and people looking to publish guest posts on other websites. This is a really great way to find specific sites within your niche that are looking for guest posts. So I've left a few different search queries that you can use here. A lot of them, they end with a keyword. So for example, let's just, we'll do a couple of these right here now for you live. So leave the quotes for this. It's part of the search function, the search query. So Write For Us, let's just say you're in the, like I said in prior in the video, the dog training niche. Maybe you'd want to put in a keyword such as pets here, and we'll just hit enter and we'll see what comes up. So all of these pages here, you can see Right for Us, Right for Us, Right for Us, iHomePets, Right for Us. You can see that a lot of these websites using this search function, immediately you get these really, quality sites that are, well, actually you have to scrub through these lists to make sure they're quality. So I should say you get immediately, though, a good amount of search results, a good amount of results that you can start looking through to see if these are types of websites that you would want to guest post on. So, for example, and the keyword, you can switch this up as much as you want. You can put in dogs, you can put in animals, you can put in pet care, whatever it is, whatever niche you're operating in. So, for example, we'll just look at a couple of these, or one or two of these. So wolfdog.org, you can see that this is a specific page, Become a Contributor. They're looking for guest posts, for people to write guest posts. They're looking for content contributors. This is the perfect page. This is exactly what you want. So, they do have guidelines. Most guest post opportunities will have some guidelines that you have to follow, just like a word count. Just, stating that it's got to be 100% unique content, everything that you should do anyways. What you want to do next, let me just get back to my blog post here, make sure I am referencing the right steps. And so use all of these different search queries if you feel like you get stuck on one. These are all really good and should all be tested out. It's going to be different for every person and every blog, but this is a great way to find quality opportunities like this, for example. So the next thing you want to do, actually, before I go on to, I do have utilize guest posting tools. There's different tools that you can utilize as well that are out there. Most are paid tools that can help you find guest post opportunities as well. I've left a couple links to these websites. There are tons of them out there. But I would get into the habit of actually doing this research on your own. It's a great learning experience, and it's a great method, and it's just great for your overall blog and your website to learn how to identify guest post opportunities on your own. So now that we have we found a website here that we would like to guest post on, the next thing you want to do is you want to check the domain authority of this website. So what I'm going to go over here and do in Google is just type in domain authority checker, and basically we're just looking how authoritative this website is, if it's worth guest posting on. I recommend using this free tool here, smallseotools.com. There's paid ways to check the domain authority of a website, paid tools you can use such as Moz and Ahrefs, but if you're just getting started, this tool here is perfect, and it's a free tool. So really all you would need to do is just take the URL here that you found from your guest post opportunity and add it to the domain authority checker. Basically, the higher the domain authority, the more benefit you're going to get out of your guest posts, but especially if you're a new website just starting out, don't get too hung up on domain authority. I would say if you're a newer website, try to target anything that's got a domain authority of 15 or higher. 15 or 20 or higher, I would say, is a good gauge to go by. So you can see the domain authority here is 32, so this is a great opportunity if you were in this niche. So what I would do next is just start organizing your guest post list. I would do this in a batch. Like, I would do a bunch of these, try to find like 20 to 25 to 30 opportunities at once, even 15 if you don't want to, do that many. But what I would do is I would open either an Excel document, a notepad file, or just a Google sheet, and I would start organizing your list by URL, domain authority. Let's see what else I have here. You can put opportunity. We know these are guest post opportunities, so we can leave that out for now. And then just the contact. What the email address is, a contact form submission. This way you know when you're doing the outreach process exactly who and how to contact them. And maybe just some, I like to put a status column. So just to keeps everything organized, we're just going to sort this. Sometimes I like to make the status column another color just so we know where we're at and whatnot in terms of the process, the overall process. So here I would add the URL. We already saw and checked the domain authority, which was a 32. So there we go, 32. And then now let's look for their contact information. See if they leave us an email address, which they do. Boom. So it's as simple as that. And then, once you reach out, you would say, reached out. This is just for your own reference if you'd like. Reached out 8/11. So this is a really great way to start stacking up guest post opportunities. You can really just start firing and looking for you could do this, like I said, in batches. Pet Insider, again, this looks like another really great opportunity to be featured on Pet Insider. Do you have something to share with pet lovers? So you would, again, just come back here. Once you get the URL, check the authority. And this is a domain authority of 30. So these are two really good opportunities so far. So I would add this one too. And that's really the process in terms of identifying opportunities. Again, there's many different ways. I just wanted to get you started on a simple way to get you kind of going and get you started here. So this one looks like probably a contact form submission, so I would just write that here. This is just so you know, once you come back to do the outreach process, even though we haven't reached out, I'm just putting the status here. Once you come back to your list, you'll know now contact form submission that you have to go to the URL here. You can even say, see URL to give you the right notes. Again, everything is in this blog post, guys. So if you get stuck, if you think I'm going too fast, just come to the blog post or pause this video and rewind it. That's really it in terms of starting to generate your guest post list. Again, I would try to do, anywhere from 15 to 20 to 30, whatever you're comfortable with to start. Not all of these are necessarily going to be free. Some guest posts are free, some are paid, so you'll have to figure that out once you do the outreach process, but you can find a lot of free opportunities as well with guest posting. So there's a mixture of both. If the domain authority is high enough and it's really authoritative and you think it's going to provide a lot of benefit to your SEO and your overall website, say it's a domain authority of 60 or higher, or 50 or higher, I would think about paying for it, because some of these are definitely worth it to get your content out on other websites. You want to make sure this is quality content you're producing as well, guys. Everything that you put out there, whether it's your own blog or guest posting on other websites, you want to make sure the content is as quality as you can. So we went over, how to identify and find quality guest post opportunities very quickly. I could spend a very long time on this video, but I just want to get you started here. And this is, again, for a newer website, so you just want to kind of get up and running. So we went over how to find quality guest post opportunities. We went over how to spot check the domain authority. Again, all the links are here if you need them. We went over how to organize your guest post list. Now let's just quickly talk about crafting a guest post email outreach template. So you should come up with a template that pitches. This is some of the highest converting type of templates that I use. You want to come up with a template where you pitch 3 to 4 blog topics right in the initial email. This sometimes eliminates extra emails back and forth in terms of trying to figure out which article you're going to write. So I would come up with 3 to 4 blog topics that you could pitch right away. So here's an example of an outreach email for guest posting that you can actually use. Just modify it to your liking, to how it makes sense for you. So basically you just want to say who you are, the website that you write for, maybe look through their website and pick out a particular article that you really liked. Sometimes that helps the guest post opportunity know that you've actually gone through and read their website and read about what their site is about. And then you would just pitch the articles and say, would you consider any of these topics for your blog? And you give them the article title, and you would just give a brief description, 2 to 3 sentences. So this is a really high quality type of outreach template that you can use. You're basically saying who you are, and you would say, would you consider any of these articles for your blog? And you just give them a couple of options. and hopefully they come back to you and let you know. You're not going to get a yes from every single guest post that you reach out to. So just know that this is somewhat of a numbers game too. You want to reach out to enough so you give yourself a chance to actually get some articles published out there. But if you do enough of this, you will start getting some yeses, and you will start getting some guest posts published on other websites, which is great. So use this template. I would say, again, batch this out where, you're going to build a list of, let's just say 15 guest post opportunities. Say these are all different websites. Do a round of outreach for all of these in one batch, and then check in maybe 3 to 4 days or something like that, and see if you've gotten any responses. So you want to do the outreach. You can use this template and your article pitches for a while. Just make sure every guest post that you publish, guys, this is important, is 100% unique content. If you write an article on a website and it's say you're pitching the same articles for a month or so, if you write two of the same two articles on the same topic, you just want to make sure it's 100% unique content. You don't want to be publishing duplicate content out there. You can use the same pitches for a little while, but you want to make sure it's unique content, if that makes sense. I would also recommend that you refresh your guest post pitches every once in a while as well. So maybe once a month or however you think. You want to be publishing fresh content out there. So you want to refresh these every so often as well, just to keep things unique, keep things fresh, and keep things updated for your guest posting efforts. So last but not least is, and let me back up 1 second. You can either use a simple Gmail account for your outreach efforts, or if you have a website, you might benefit more from using your your URL email. If you have like an Evan at evanhoflickmarketing.com, for example, or using an email specific to your domain name might give you a bit better results. But Gmail is fine if you don't have that. That's something you can start with. So just to sum up, kind of writing your guest post then, as I discussed a little earlier, is some of these websites will have some guidelines that you want to follow. So just make sure you come through here before you get started and go by the guidelines on the website. You want to make sure you're abiding to these to avoid as many headaches as possible. If you pretty much tick off the boxes as you're writing these, this should go pretty smoothly for you. So just make sure that you are following the guidelines, and most importantly, make sure you're getting a do follow backlink within your article for the best results. This is a link that Google will follow and credit you for. So you want to make sure you're building do follow backlinks in your guest post opportunities. No follow backlinks are important in a backlink portfolio as well, but in terms of guest posting, try to make sure if you're doing this, you're for the most part getting do follow backlinks. So sometimes you'll be able to add a link within an author bio for your guest post opportunities. You'll get a little bio that you can write up about yourself, maybe a headshot that you can use, a picture of yourself and a little bio of yourself, and you can add your link there. Or sometimes you can add your link directly into the content itself. Either way, their links are both still just as powerful, whether they're in the author bio or the actual content of your guest post. Just make sure that you get a do follow backlink with this. So that pretty much sums it up. I'm trying to just think if there's anything else to go over in terms of this example, and I don't think there is. So that really sums it up. I did that pretty quick. It's really overall, it's a kind of process that you can rinse and repeat. You'll get used to it and you'll get better at it the more you do it. So if I went a little quick in this video, if any of this seems confusing, please go back and reference my article here. I think it'll be really helpful to you. Keep getting used to publishing and writing guest posts. Keep pushing the link building work for your website in general, especially if you're a newer website, because over time this could really help with your search engine rankings and your organic traffic. So with that being said, guys, I know that was a longer video than normal. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know. I'm happy to help, and until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks so much.